On June 18, 1982, London awoke to a chilling scene. Roberto Calvi, chairman of Banco Ambrosiano, dubbed God's banker for his Vatican ties, was found hanging beneath Blackfriars Bridge, his pockets stuffed with bricks and cash. This was no ordinary death. The symbolism was unmistakable. Blackfriars, a nod to Calvi's secret Masonic lodge, and the bricks, a mafia warning. Calvi's murder exposed a hidden nexus of power, where the mafia, Vatican, and high finance collided. The initial suicide verdict was quickly doubted and later overturned. This was a public execution, a message to anyone who might betray the syndicate's secrets. Calvi was at the center of a billion-dollar banking scandal, laundering mafia money through a web of shell companies tied to the Vatican. He knew too much and was likely on the verge of exposing powerful figures. His murder remains unsolved, a testament to the mafia's reach and the dangers of crossing the world's most secretive networks. The case shattered illusions. The mafia was not just street thugs, but a sophisticated force embedded in Europe's highest circles. Calvi's death was more than a crime. It was a seismic event that revealed how blurred the lines between the sacred, the state, and the criminal underworld had become. The legacy? Decades later, the questions still echo. The murder of God's banker remains a chilling reminder of the cost of secrets in a world ruled by power and fear. Forget the Hollywood cliches. The Italian Mafia is not a single gang, but a collection of powerful criminal organizations born in southern Italy. The most infamous is the Sicilian Cosa Nostra, but there's also the Calabrian 'Ndrangheta, now Europe's cocaine kingpin, and the Camorra in Naples. These groups emerged in the 19th century, filling the void left by a weak state, offering protection in exchange for loyalty and payment. The Mafia became a parallel society, enforcing its own brutal order and embedding itself in local culture. Its structure is rigid: soldiers at the bottom, capos above, and a boss at the top, held together by omerta, the code of silence. Betrayal means death. Over time, the Mafia expanded from extortion to drug trafficking, arms dealing, and corrupting public contracts. It's not just a gang, it's a shadow government with its own rules and economy. Members see themselves as men of honor, not mere criminals. This self-image, combined with deep community roots and a sophisticated hierarchy, made the Mafia a force that endured for over a century. Its resilience came from blending into society, making it nearly impossible to uproot. The Mafia's true power? Its ability to become invisible yet ever-present. The Mafia's real strength wasn't violence, it was its power to corrupt. By infiltrating politics, banking, and even the Vatican, the Mafia gained protection and laundered billions. In southern Italy, Mafia-backed votes could make or break politicians, who repaid the favor with contracts and legal shields. The Mafia's money flowed through banks like Banco Ambrosiano, with complicit bankers like Calvi moving illicit funds worldwide. The Vatican Bank, shielded by its sovereign status, became a discreet partner, its involvement exposed after Ambrosiano's collapse. Letters of comfort and secret shareholdings tied the Holy See's finances to the Mafia's empire. The result, a system where crime, politics, and religion were dangerously intertwined. The Calvi scandal revealed just how far the Mafia's tentacles reached. It was a wake-up call. No institution was immune. The Mafia's story is incomplete without Propaganda Due, or P2, a secret Masonic lodge that operated as a shadow government in Italy. P2's membership included generals, politicians, judges, and bankers like Calvi, all sworn to secrecy under Licio Gelli. The lodge's goal to steer Italy's destiny from the shadows, subverting democracy for its own agenda. Calvi's ties to P2 gave him access to immense power and made him a liability when things unraveled. His murder beneath Blackfriars Bridge was a symbolic execution, a warning to those who betray the codes of both Mafia and Masonic secrecy. The scandal surrounding P2's exposure rocked Italy, revealing a hidden brotherhood manipulating the nation's fate. In the end, Calvi's death was a message from the shadows. Betray us and you pay the ultimate price. From the start, Calvi's death was shrouded in suspicion. Suicide was implausible, and forensic experts later confirmed murder. The motive? Calvi lost hundreds of millions in Mafia money and threatened to expose the web linking his bank, politicians, and the Vatican. For the Mafia, he was a liability. For the powerful, a threat. In his final days, Calvi tried to bargain for his life with secrets. He failed. Decades of investigations led nowhere. Key mafia suspects were acquitted, witnesses vanished, and the case remains unsolved. The forces Calvi served, Mafia, P2, Vatican, were too powerful, too secretive. His murder stands as a monument to an era when crime, finance, and politics were indistinguishable. Justice was never served. The Calvi case is a dark reminder of how deep corruption can run. Some secrets, it seems, are buried forever. For years, the Mafia seemed untouchable, protected by omerta and corrupt officials. That changed in the 1980s when judges Giovanni Falcone and Paolo Borsellino launched a new offensive. Falcone's breakthrough convincing mafioso Tommaso Buscetta to break omerta and reveal the Mafia's inner workings. Buscetta's testimony was a game-changer, giving prosecutors a blueprint of the Cosa Nostra. The result, the Maxi trial of 1986, the largest anti-mafia prosecution in history. Nearly 500 mafiosi were indicted, over 300 convicted, including top bosses. The state had finally struck back. The Mafia retaliated with terror. Falcone and Borsellino were assassinated in 1992, but their deaths galvanized Italy. New laws, tougher prisons, and a wave of informants followed. The Maxi trial marked the beginning of the Mafia's decline. The public's outrage fueled a relentless crackdown. Falcone and Borsellino's sacrifice broke the Mafia's aura of invincibility. Their legacy, a nation awakened, and the Cosa Nostra in retreat. The war was far from over, but the tide had turned. The Mafia's fall was a war of attrition, one with wiretaps and betrayal. As omerta crumbled, more mafiosi became informants, mapping the organization from within. Police planted listening devices everywhere, cars, homes, even prison cells, capturing the Mafia's secrets in real time. Wiretaps revealed a crumbling empire. Bosses lamented lost power, seized assets, and undisciplined recruits. The arrest of Bernardo Provenzano in 2006, after 43 years on the run, was a turning point. No one was untouchable. Provenzano's primitive communication methods showed the Mafia's struggle to adapt. Each new informant and wiretap led to more arrests, accelerating the collapse. In 2025, a massive Palermo raid netted 181 suspects. Proof the Mafia was a shadow of its former self. The code of silence was dead. The mystique shattered. Surveillance and betrayal had done what bullets could not. Today, the Sicilian Mafia is a ghost of its former self, fragmented, weakened, and stripped of its empire. The once mighty cupola hasn't met in years. Leadership is old, scattered, or imprisoned. Wiretaps capture mafiosi lamenting their decline, surviving on petty rackets and losing the drug trade to the 'Ndrangheta. The Cosa Nostra has retreated to its Sicilian roots, focused on survival, not expansion. Yet, in Palermo's poorest neighborhoods, the Mafia still offers identity and belonging to the desperate. Its cultural roots endure, preying on social decay. Younger members are more tech-savvy, shifting the fight to the digital realm. The decline of Cosa Nostra has left space for other mafias and foreign groups to rise. The battle against organized crime is evolving, not ending. Law enforcement must adapt to new threats. The Mafia's story isn't over, it's just changed shape. The Mafia's story is a warning. Criminal networks can corrupt a nation's core, shaping history from the shadows. From Calvi's murder to Falcone's sacrifice, we've seen how power, secrecy, and violence intertwine. The Maxi trial and relentless police work shattered the Cosa Nostra's dominance, but the scars remain. The Mafia's legacy lingers in public distrust, economic wounds, and the rise of new criminal syndicates. The fight against organized crime is ongoing, a test of vigilance and resolve. Understanding these networks is crucial to defending our societies. The past holds vital lessons for the future. Subscribe for more in-depth stories on the world's hidden powers.